All right, let's talk about one of the crown jewels of Disney California Adventure, Carthay's Circle. Now, this isn't just another restaurant review. Oh no. This is your ultimate guide to what is basically a time machine to the golden age of Hollywood, disguised as a dining experience. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to tackle it like a pro.
You know, this quote from Le Salon just says it all, doesn't it? That's the magic right there. The second you walk through those doors, all the sounds of the park, the crowds, it all just fades away. You are truly transported, and that feeling is exactly what we're going to break down. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to step back in time and soak in all that incredible old Hollywood history. Then we get to the important stuff. How do you actually get a table? After that, we'll compare the two totally different vibes, the casual alfresco lounge and the super elegant upstates restaurant. And finally, we'll give you the final verdict on which one is the right move for you.
Okay, so you have to understand, this building is literally dripping with history. It's this picture-perfect recreation of the original Carthay Circle Theater. And that's the actual theater where Walt Disney premiered Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs back in 1937. The inside is basically a love letter to that era, filled with these amazing classic photos of Walt. There's even one of him with Shirley Temple. It just pulls you right back to the 1930s.
All right, so you're sold on the history. The vibe is calling your name. But what's the big question? How do you actually get a table? It can feel a little intimidating, I know, but don't worry. There are a few key tricks, and we're going to walk through them right now.
So, the most common way to get in is the walk-up list. You can do it right from the Disneyland app, but here's the catch, and it's a big one. You physically have to be right near the restaurant, and you have to have your phone's location services turned on for it to even work. If the app's not cooperating, you can always go old school and just walk up to the host stand. But there's a pro tip you absolutely need to know about this.
Okay, so this is where a lot of people make a mistake. You open the app, you see that the walk-up list is full, and you just kind of give up and walk away, right? Wrong. Do not do that. There's a much better way.
So the app might say it's at capacity, but the hosts, well, they've got a little more wiggle room. Just listen to this from Lizland. She says that 9 times out of 10, if you just go up and ask in person, they can squeeze you in. Seriously, being friendly and asking directly can turn a no from the app into a yes in real life.
And now for another brilliant little hack. This one's for making those advanced reservations. So let's say you're looking for a table for 2, and the app is showing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't give up just yet. There's this clever little workaround.
The reservation system can be, well, it can be a little quirky. As SoCal Disney Dad figured out, sometimes if you search for a party of 3, a spot will magically appear, even if there was nothing for a party of 2. So what do? You book it. Then you immediately go back in and try to modify it down to 2. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it is an awesome trick to have up your sleeve.
Okay, now that you know how to get in, let's talk about where you're going. First up is the Alfresco Lounge. This is the more casual, relaxed experience that's partly outdoors and in the lobby. It is the perfect spot for people watching, grabbing a truly sophisticated cocktail, and getting some amazing food to share without having to commit to a whole big meal.
And speaking of cocktails, the lounge is famous for them, which has sparked this great gin and tonic debate. On one side, you have the botanical gin and tonic, which has this warm, almost Christmassy flavor with star anise and cardamom. Then, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have the dill pickle gin and tonic. It is a wild, sour, zesty curveball. They are two totally different drinks, but both are incredibly well made.
Now for the food. There are a few dishes that people just rave about. The Vietnamese lettuce wraps are probably the best value on the menu. They're packed with flavor and super easy to share. The duck soaps, the servers will tell you to get them, and they are, in a word, amazing. And if you're there on a cooler day, oh my gosh, the French onion soup is an absolute must. It's the ultimate comfort food.
All right, now let's go upstairs. This is the main event, the restaurant. And I'm telling you, it is a completely different world up there. We're talking formal, we're talking sophisticated, and it is a deeply, deeply themed dining room focused on high-end, seasonal food.
And really, the ambiance is the star of the show. It is absolutely stunning. You're surrounded by this gorgeous dark wood, huge floral arrangements, beautiful chandeliers. It just creates this incredibly calm, intimate, and I'd even say romantic energy. It's one of the only places in any theme park that you can genuinely call a date night spot.
So the weekend lunch up here is a prefix menu, and it'll run you about $62 per person. But that's before you add anything extra. And trust me, there's one extra that you absolutely 100% have to get.
I'm talking about the legendary Parker House rolls.
Yeah, they cost an extra 14 bucks, but you get this whole loaf of cheesy, pillowy warm rolls, and the praise for them is just insane. Liz Land literally calls them a 20 out of 10. The smell alone is intoxicating. You just have to order them, period.
Now, the main courses change with the seasons, but the menu is always just killer. Some recent highlights? The Santa Maria grilled tri-tip, which one person called the best thing I've had at Disneyland in a while. Then you've got the braised short rib raviolis. That's probably their most popular dish. And of course, you can't forget about the famous thick-cut pork chop.
So you've got two incredible but very, very different options, all under one roof. How in the world are you supposed to choose? Well, let's break it down in a final showdown.
Okay, let's look at this head-to-head. The lounge has that casual, social, people-watching vibe. It's all about craft cocktails and awesome shareable plates. The restaurant, on the other hand, is formal, it's intimate, it's a true special occasion place with a fine dining menu and the price tag to go with it. So bottom line, the lounge is perfect for a quality drink and a few delicious bites, while the restaurant is for that full, elegant date night or a big celebration.
You know, this quote from SoCal Disney Dad just nails the trade-off perfectly. A lot of people feel that the lounge actually wins on the food in terms of flavor and value. But, and this is a big but, you just cannot beat the atmosphere of the upstairs restaurant. For that truly special transportive experience, the restaurant is in a league of its own.
You know, both of our guides we looked at ranked this place as their absolute #1 favorite. With its flawless theming, its incredible food, and these two totally distinct experiences, it really makes you wonder, is this the single best dining experience in the entire Disneyland resort? Honestly, based on everything we've seen, the answer just might be yes.